Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Red Panda Anthem.
So, all right, let's talk about this. And if you're on Zoom, just log into YouTube and just put it on mute just to help the numbers. Let's talk about this. I put this in on Instagram the other day too. Block and Tesla join forces. Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey are joining forces for a Bitcoin mining plant, solar powered Bitcoin mining plant in Texas. This is interesting because we just talked about Elon's involvement with Twitter. Jack Dorsey was a former CEO and co-founder of Twitter. He's currently the CEO of Block, which was formerly called Square. I think Tesla announced last year that they own over like $11 billion in Bitcoin. If I'm mistaken on that number, put it in chat, but somewhere along the line, they own a lot of Bitcoin. One of the reasons why they changed the name to Block is because they're moving more towards blockchain technology. Square also owns Cash App, who they're making a strong push towards Bitcoin. So Jack Dorsey has been a Bitcoin bull. Him and Jay-Z has done some stuff in Africa with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
They own title.
So now you have. It's interesting for me on a few different levels, but the first thing is like the whole idea of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin was to empower the little guy. That's what they said. Empower the little guy, decentralization, put the strength back to the people. Now we see two of the richest people in the world coming together to work on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin mining. So that's interesting within itself. But what's you guys' thoughts on this?
I think the timing was extremely interesting, right? Like this guy is now becoming a shareholder in a company that you founded and was critical of Twitter up until that point, right? Saying that it needs to be free speech and all these things. But it's interesting. Even this play, because they were critical of Bitcoin. If you remember at some point last year, I think it was May, Tesla was originally accepting Bitcoin as payment and they stopped. And that was really because of environmental circumstances. And so when you hear what they're doing now, it's like, oh, it's solar. Okay, this is environmental friendly. And now they've teamed up, obviously, with Block and Blockstream to come with a plan. And so if people understand the mining of Bitcoin, they understand how much energy it takes. It really, like, to mine a Bitcoin, like, you really could be giving energy to a small town or like one of these small cities, like in the middle of the country. And so mining really doesn't happen it happens in the United States, but bigger in China, bigger in Russia, some parts of Canada. And so when you're talking about bringing that to the United States from a solar standpoint, it's revolutionary in the space because now you save energy, but you can still produce those Bitcoins. And so, I mean, these two obviously are revolutionary minds when we talk about technology and creating new businesses. We've seen it, some of the most, incredible companies that we've seen in our lifetime, definitely in the past decade. So to see them come together and then to see what happened like 2 days after was just like, this isn't coincidental. None of this is coincidental.
Well timed. Square needed a hit. They needed, and they have a few things that are going to come out this year that I think will be impactful. This is one of the smaller ones. But like you said, it was well timed. What's the quote? Create a problem and give a solution, like in the political space. So when they were saying, hey, how much it costs to mine, like what does it cost to make a Tesla factory? So like, is mining Bitcoin the most unsustainable thing that we can do in comparison to all the things that are done in corporate or, drilling and mining for oil? It's like, but if you frame it in that context when everyone was fake caring about the environment, you then can say, hey, this is a great way for us to team up. As far as it being for the little guy, there is no currency, asset class, or money-making engine that the top half of 1% will not get into and the top 10 hedge funds will not get into. That's why I always kept saying, like, everyone was saying, hey, Bitcoin is decentralized. I'm like, no, it's not. And then, I dropped a little bomb for some of you about who backs Ethereum. And then Tether's going to fall apart pretty soon. Please be careful. The same ones, I want you guys to do your research on the media side, right? So not only, because if you can get media to influence the minds to then drive profit for you, you need to look at who is creating the media and who's paying them to do so. Why was no one screaming to get into Bitcoin in 2015, 2014, 2016? I was there. Shot and Troy can tell you, man, not that many people were screaming it 2015. So normally whenever you get a push to mainstream media, it's so that the ones that are in institutions and the wealthiest of the wealthy can actually get a high return on their profit. So please be careful and be mindful. But great play for Square. I love it.
So how do you feel about Square stock? It's rebounded. It crashed. It's rebounded. It's up and down. It had a big week last week, I think. Then it kind of went down. I know you was a big Square bull.
Still am.
Very vocal about your support of Square as far as you thought that it was a good stock. You still believe in Square?
I do, but like it's at the point where you remember when Deontay Wilder got knocked out and it was like, baby, get up, please don't let Fury knock you out, right? So
Do the wiggles on right now.
One more push to like 96, 67, and they'll be good. Jack and his team needs to announce what their plan is. The one thing that I am seeing, which is different than the Peloton CEO change, which is amazing. You have to tell people what the vision is so they can rally around it. So there's no reason right now unless you have some amazing information or some insight and the crystal ball shines bright, you have no reason to jump in right now. I think while they're getting their plan together, they have to get a better job of mapping out what the vision is for Square and what the vision of the company is. I think the product is great. I think they have some great assets under management in terms of product line that they have, but no one has been told, hey, here's the 5-year plan for Square. I think if he does that, that'll be great. But yeah, give it maybe 8 months and they'll be back to like 180, 350-ish. But yeah, while inflation is going up, they're going to take a little beating. So I'm screaming, get up, champ. Get up.
Get up, champ. And really quickly, just to add, because we spoke about Tesla, their plant opened up in Texas last week. And this Bitcoin mining plant is also going to be in Texas. Mm-hmm. And so very interesting. Obviously, we know Texas no state tax. So a lot of the revenue is not going to be paid to the state. So, just another benefit that these CEOs are looking at, like, all right, well, let's move to places where we can actually save money and have the same amount of business.
That's a fact. Speaking before that, shout out to YouTube. We jumped up 700 viewers real quick. We had 7,100. So as I said, once we get to 7,500, we'll be giving out some cash apps. So keep the likes coming and keep sharing it. We made a strong improvement in the last 5 minutes. Appreciate that.
So what up?
So NASDAQ has moved up or down 1% on 73% of the days in 2022 so far. How can we take advantage of that? And to put it in perspective for people that might not fully understand what that means. So that means that it's had a lot of swings, volatile swings, right?
Good word.
Yeah, I mean, because normally it's in a range of 0.02% to 0.07%. To be at a full 1% swing, that means there's a lot of money to be made. So shout out to those of you who went to InvestFest. I gave you guys the targets for what to go for. But how to take advantage of it. If you know that the market is falling, please put this in chat. There's no such thing as a bad market, only bad entries into it. So this is the point for my hoopers, right? You have to take what they're giving you. So if we enter a place where inflation gets up to 9% and tech is going to fall, you have to short the NASDAQ, but back to what Troy said, limited number of trades. Please put this in chat. Limited number. Mike, clip this up. Nikki, clip this up. Limited number of trades, 12. You only need 12 for the year. But if you go for a big target on a day, can I be honest? Man, when NASDAQ is falling like 800, 900 points, I am elated. You would have think they would have brought Steve Jobs back from the dead and he's sitting at the right hand of Tim Cook when that NASDAQ is falling. Because now, last year, everyone was saying, hey, I want more volatility. Or when Trump first got out of office, it was like, things are slower. I wish it would pick back up. Now that we have it, while your long term is getting beat up, trade the NASDAQ future, practice 300 times. So some of you don't have to complain and make videos. So I want you to practice first, right? Put it in chat, 300.
So here jump shot.
Don't practice, don't profit, right? But if you do that, you'll be able to hit some big targets in the market and pull away 20, 30,000 out the market. Hypothetically, if you have more capital, you can trade 30, 40 contracts, you can bring out $100,000 in the trading session, and you'll be good. And that'll help you withstand some of the downsides of this falling market right now.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a trader's dream right now, as my guy Jamal would say.
I mean, it's still scary. Don't get me wrong. It's not all peaches and cream. Like, you will see the move and take it and be like, damn, my heart is beating so fast, right? I always tell everyone, after you've locked in profit, get up, walk out of the house, maybe 0.5% do it. For those of you that do, that is an indicator in itself to help you make more money, because you can't sit and baby every trade because you'll get out too early. So get up, walk away, let it go to your target, risk $1 to make 11. So if your stop loss is 52 ticks on NASDAQ, what should your target be? You guys put it in chat. Now you have a setting that you can use. You can go for that target and be good and profit even when the market is down.
Yeah.
Or go back to last week and listen to the Vanguard ETFs that he spoke about and do that.
See?
You can do either.
Family affair.
You can do either.
Yep.
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's
This
good?
that Red Panda Anthem.
Your
Whole
boy.
clique going up. I know they can't stand it.